Hey everyone, what's going on? If you're new to the channel, I talk about how the mainstream media, our sports leagues, and our told history, and a number of other things are all done by a script. Essentially, there are people who are ruling over us who understand ancient knowledge, and they're using it to play God over the rest of us. Within this understanding of ancient knowledge is a practice of coding numbers into words and phrases. And, just think about spelling, right? That's why they call it spelling, because they can use these things to perform magic, basically, on the rest of the world. And they know how to control the vibrations and the frequencies and keep people enslaved in this system that they've created for us. But what I also talk about on this channel is how everything in this world is interrelated. And although these people are using this system to control over the masses, there are things that happen every single day in your own life that are guiding you. There are signs and symbols, and, it even can be connected to the mainstream media and so on. And that's what I'm going to talk about in this video, because I had this weird experience while I was at work the other day, 2 days ago, August 19th. And what had happened was I work at a gas station, and towards the end of the day, somebody gave me a dime, but it wasn't a dime. And I didn't notice it until they were gone. And I started looking at it, and it turned out to be a dime from Switzerland, right? And I was like, that's pretty weird, a dime from Switzerland, and so on. I've been talking a whole lot about, you know, Sweden and Norway and Denmark, and, now I see this dime from Switzerland. And this really doesn't happen that often. I mean, I can't even remember a time that I've got a coin from a different country other than maybe Canada, once in a while. So a Switzerland dime, which was weird. And then today, believe it or not, some kid came in and wanted to buy stuff with an Australian $10 bill. And I thought, a $10 bill, a dime is 10. Like, what is going on with this, right? And moral of the story, though, on August 19th, when I got home after this dime story, I went to CNN to do what I always do when I get on the computer and decode news stories. And of course, one of the main stories on here just so happened to be about a 125-year-old dime that was just sold for $1.32 million. And I'm like, so I have this weird experience with a dime at work, and now the mainstream media is running a story about this old dime that's getting sold for a lot. So I figured I'd click on it. And as I'm reading through the story, I see that the dime used to belong to Jerry Buss, the former owner of the Los Angeles Lakers, who Jerry Buss, he died in 2013, right? He died the same year the Lakers had Dwight Howard, and he also died just before Kobe Bryant tore his Achilles, and so on. And what's so funny about it is, earlier in the day, before all of this happened with the dime, someone had left a comment on my video asking me to do a decode on how the mainstream media is saying that the Lakers might sign Dwight Howard. And they made a bunch of stories the other day all about how the Lakers might sign Dwight Howard and so on. And it's funny because I was thinking about this all day, because I even have a video where I talked about DeMarcus Cousins going to the Los Angeles Lakers. And in this video, I talked all about this coding of how it is synced up to Kobe Bryant's Achilles getting torn the same year that Dwight Howard played on the team. And then Kobe made his comeback against the Toronto Raptors on Dwight Howard's birthday. And if you recall, Chris Paul was supposed to go to the Lakers the year before, and that trade got nullified on Dwight Howard's birthday. And, think about how the Raptors just won the NBA Finals. Kevin Durant tears his Achilles tendon. And Kobe Bryant scored 81 points at one time against the Raptors. Kobe being Bryant equals 81 in Gematria. So he makes his comeback against the Toronto Raptors, the team that he scored 81 points against. On Dwight Howard's birthday, the Chris Paul trade nullified on Dwight Howard's birthday. So I knew there was something important to Dwight Howard in this video that I made on July 18th. And, then all of a sudden, DeMarcus Cousins gets injured. And then the Lakers might be picking up Dwight Howard. If they don't pick up Dwight Howard, I'm wondering if this is some type of clue that they're going to get Chris Paul at some time during this season too, And I'll explain a little bit more about that in a minute, but I want to go back to this dime thing. So this dime story is showing me the Los Angeles Lakers, right? Dr. Jerry Buss, and it's even making me think about 2013 yet again with Dwight Howard. And here's the comment that somebody left me or whatever about, looking into Dwight Howard and whatnot. I even talked about how the Lakers coach used to be the coach of the Orlando Magic, and Dwight Howard, he began his career with the Orlando Magic because, the reason why is because if you write out Orlando Magic, it equals 58. Orlando Magic 58, look what Dwight Howard equals. Dwight Howard equals 58. Bet you can't guess what Los Angeles Lakers equal. 58, and I bet you can't guess what Kobe Bryant equals. 58. Bet you can't guess what DeMarcus Cousins equals. 58. What are the odds? But the Orlando Magic and the Lakers have this connection through that. So I was just wondering, I recently have talked about this before too, but a dime is worth 10, and this is that number that's important to God and so on, right? 10. God equals 10 and 55. Satan equals 10 and 55. My name even equals 257, which is the 55th prime number. If you add 1 plus 2 plus 3 all the way up to 10, it equals 55. There's 10 Sephirots on the Kabbalistic tree of life that help you understand God and so on. So I wondered if there's something with the number 10 and the importance of this dime. And then now today, the Australian one makes me think that even more. But, Los Angeles Lakers equal 257, which is the 55th prime number. I also went and I looked up Jerry Buss again. And Jerry Buss died on February 18th of that year. And he won 10 league championships with the Los Angeles Lakers. But look at it, his death day, February 18th, 2013. If you look up that dime, this dime was actually called a barber dime. Was called a barber dime, and it was designed by this guy named Charles E. Barber. And look when he died. February 18th, the same day that Jerry Buss died. Jerry Buss owns this coin in the mainstream media story. So they both die on the same day in history. They died 96 days apart. And that's important because if you write out Lakers, Lakers equal 96. And if you write out Barber dime, it equals 218. So the guy who, made the Barber dime, or it's named after, it equals 218. He died on 218. Now this coin's being sold by, it used to be owned by another guy who died on 218. What are the odds? Charles Barber also equals 58 in Gematria. And believe it or not, my name equals 58. 58, 95. The Lakers were always back in the day when I used to watch sports before they were, I always knew it was rigged, but didn't know that it was rigged at this level. But how interesting. My favorite team and my favorite sport was always the NBA. Equals 58, my favorite team. Really like Kobe Bryant. It's craziness. Dwight Howard, though, he currently plays for the Memphis Grizzlies that equal 218, right? Another connection to this dime. He got there because he was traded for C.J. Miles. If you look up C.J. Miles, he was the 34th pick in the draft, and the word Memphis equals 34. Everything that led up to this that made me talk about Dwight Howard with the DeMarcus Cousins trade, it was all about the number 34. Dwight Howard is even going to be 34 years old in December this year. Chris Paul is 34 years old. Kobe Bryant tore his Achilles when he was 34 years old. And a number of other things. Couldn't play with Shaq when he was 34. Made his comeback in the 34th week after tearing his Achilles. You know, just before he retired, he lost to the Warriors. The Lakers lost by 34 points before he announced his retirement. He tore his Achilles against the Warriors, and so on. And last year, I talked about how LeBron James might get injured because of all of that, because LeBron James was going to be 34 years old. And then, of course, on the 34th game of the season, LeBron James gets injured, and it was against the Golden State Warriors just before his 34th birthday. And then he made his comeback against the Clippers. DeMarcus Cousins made his comeback against the Clippers. Then, can't remember what it was. Can't even remember it all, but the Lakers ended up playing the Clippers again on the date of 3/4, and they got their 34th loss of the season. There's all kinds of 34 stuff that was going on with it. And then the Lakers even picked up Anthony Davis 3 months and 4 days after his birthday, and Pelicans equal 34, and so on, right? All kinds of 34 stuff that was going on. I got this weird message on a video about Kobe Bryant and the Toronto Raptors stuff and how it involved Kevin Durant, and then 34 days later, Kevin Durant tore his Achilles. Remember, DeMarcus Cousins also tore his Achilles. So there's this big narrative. Also interesting, I made the blog post about DeMarcus Cousins on July 17th. That's when I talked about this, involving Dwight Howard again. And it was all about the number 34 yet again. And this coin thing happens 34 days after that, right? So 34 days later, I have all this stuff that is leading me to look up Dwight Howard again, after I've talked about all this stuff. So there's definitely something important to it. So let's just look at this here. Jerry Buss, he died after the Lakers played the Los Angeles Clippers in 2013 as well. Their 54th game of the season, and they lost to the Clippers. So that's an interesting thing to think about, because I was talking about that in the previous video, how I don't know if the coding is for the Clippers or if it is for the Lakers for certain. But it seems that one of them two teams is going to be winning the NBA Finals. And it was seemingly more for the Los Angeles Lakers to me. So it'll be interesting to see if they do sign Dwight Howard and how he actually plays, or if they're somehow going to get Chris Paul and so on. I'm just interested to see what's up with it. But it's absolutely coded. It's obvious, But Jerry Buss died 6 months and 6 days before Kobe's birthday. Lakers also equals 66. And remember, Kobe had this great relationship with Jerry Buss and so on. Then Jerry Buss dies, then Kobe tears his Achilles. Their birthdays, too. This is how connected they are. Their birthdays, 157 days apart. Kobe Bryant equals 157. Also 5 months and 4 days. Kobe Bean Bryant, 54. And their birthdays are that much apart. Kobe's birthday, too. I've been talking about August 10th and August 11th a whole lot, and how there's something to do with the Julian calendar being really important. And Kobe's birthday will be August 10th on the Julian calendar. And then think about his numbers that he wore. 8 and 24, August 24th, which reminds us a lot of August 11th on the Julian calendar. So Kobe's important to this narrative. Can't remember how old. I'm going to look up Kobe really quick. Is he going to be 42 this year? He's going to be 41 years old. Kobe Bryant is going to be 41 coming up. That's pretty important to Kobe Bryant here. Look at this. Kobe Bryant, 41. Remember when he retired, he wrote that Dear Basketball poem? Dear Basketball, 41. Then he won an Oscar for it on 3-4. And they announced that he was gonna be at the Oscars for it 34 days before 3-4. I mean, just so stupid. This coin too, it's gonna be offered at the ANA World's Fair of Money in Chicago. And if you follow what I've been talking about with August 10th, it was really important to the World's Fair symbolism and also the Iowa State Fair. So, the World's Fair is currently going on in China right now. And then we got that Hong Kong stuff on, just after August 11th and whatnot. It's synced up to the Golden Gate and a bunch of things. That's probably why the same day we got the Dwight Howard story in the mainstream media, they had a story about Steph Curry bringing back the golf team. He's going to finance the golf team at Howard University, right? Think about Steph Curry, Golden State Warriors. Kobe tears his Achilles against the Golden State Warriors just before, you know, Steph Curry gets really big a few years before Steph Curry gets super big and whatnot. So I know I could have made a more on point video, really, but I'm just trying to think about some of these things. That's why I've been making some kind of, some videos and just talking because, I mean, it's so ridiculous. I don't know how many times I've talked about something and then it comes up within the mainstream media. I can't ever pinpoint exactly what the narrative is on the exact day, but literally the storyline that I am talking about, it always comes up in the media. And how odd is it that just some weird thing, I get this weird dime at work, and then it leads me to a story that's in the mainstream media about something I was thinking about all day long. And then, just what are the odds of that? It's craziness. And this is the system that people understand, and this is why they use this system. And it makes me wonder sometimes if, you know, maybe I'm the only one who got this story on CNN. Maybe nobody else was getting this story on CNN. And maybe they just put it there in front of me to help me understand this narrative that I've been talking about, right? Because I feel like there is something that is guiding me and making me get a better understanding of this knowledge. And every single day I feel like I'm learning more, but I still haven't got to the point where I can pinpoint it and absolutely figure it out. But that day will hopefully come. So it's just, I don't know. Makes me think that not all people are bad who are using this knowledge. And maybe it's not even people, maybe it's something else that is, guiding me to get a better understanding. So I'm gonna leave the video there. Just wanted to share some synchronicity, and I'll make another video. If Dwight Howard does get signed with the Lakers, then I'll make a whole nother video. I'll make an on-point video talking about, the whole reason. I'll just go back and re-explain all these things that I talked about in these other videos and whatnot. But I mean, whatever. Done rambling. Have a good one. Peace.